Hi, my name is Nicki Scheerer, and I am a producer and writer for Mansard Media. I am also the project manager and the designer for the Vahlkamp House, as well as a real estate professional and mom to 2 kids. For me, personally, I am from St. Louis. I've lived in St. Louis my entire life, and I've lived in the city, I've lived in the county, I've lived out in the country, but there's nothing like St. Louis City to me. The architecture is amazing. We have things from all different decades and time periods. You have Victorians to Flanders to contemporary to mid-mods. Like, it's such a cool, unique little place, and we have a lot of different pockets of cultures, and art is always wrapped into everything. And for me, art and architecture and design all flow together. And so I, as a real estate professional and as a designer, and now a producer, I want to help highlight all of the great things that St. Louis has while bringing people into the historical architecture and into living, other than just in a suburb, and really loving it and showcasing how amazing this area really is. On the Vahlkamp House, I am the designer and I am the project manager. So I talk with Matt about what he wants his house to be like. How is it gonna fit for his family? How are we going to incorporate the architecture of the home and modern families? How will it flow? How will it work with him? And then I'm communicating with the general contractor, and we're communicating with the subcontractors and meeting with them. I'm talking about the final plan. I'm talking with the architect just to make sure that this house that Matt has invested in, and this part of St. Louis that he's investing in, that he feels that he can live authentically in this space, and that he can live comfortably in this space as well. I mean, this house was built in 1879. They didn't have indoor plumbing then. So, how do you put bathrooms in places there were never bathrooms? So that's the fun part that I do, is work on trying to blend everything together. What does a project manager do? Try to keep all of the plates spinning. So I communicate with the client, and I communicate with the general contractor, and I also help with some of the subs too. Sheila is the general contractor. She's involved and she manages them mostly, but I still need to be here on a day-to-day basis to make sure that, yes, that's where the sink's gonna go, or no, the medallions, we need to make sure the medallions are protected. But what my real job is it's trying to take what Matt wants and what Matt thinks is good design, and then I try to translate that then into construction. Oh yeah, so we have a few meetings. We have production meetings with the actual production crew. So with, as you'll meet very soon, JD and Megan, Matt and I sit in on a production meeting once a week, and then we sit in on a construction meeting once a week as well with Sheila and with the subcontractors. So through that, I kind of lead the meeting. I make sure, okay, Sheila, what trade's coming in next? What are they doing? We need to schedule filming for that. And then with the production team, it's okay, what videos we're releasing? What do we need to do? When? How far are you on editing this video? Do we need to fill something in? So I do. It's my calendar. Everything's on my calendar. It kind of looks like confetti blew up, because it's color coordinated and there's so many meetings all throughout the day, but that's the only way to do it. I mean, with production, with research, with writing, with filming, with real estate, with being a mom, the only way I can do that is by planning things out and time blocking. Right, okay, so my design experience is that I have been designing professionally for 6 years. And before that, I have been trained by world-renowned artists who have taught me the art of what is good design and what is good craftsmanship. And then I've taken that into action and created beautiful designs for people. I think why I'm a good designer is because I have a good eye for what is beautiful. So it's natural, but I also, through that classically training, I can quickly think, okay, does the scale work? Does the color work? Is this visually interesting? But it's also, you need to listen to the client. So I can design something that I think is absolutely gorgeous, but if it doesn't work for the client's needs, then you need to scale back and you need to think differently. And so for me, I really listen to what is the client saying and also what is the client not saying. Sometimes you can get little peeks into what they like by looking at some of the things that they have in the house, and then just having conversations and really getting to know who they are. And then, are they the type of people who are going to be wanting to do lots of maintenance? Are they the type of people who are going to want to set it and forget about it and be done? Are they going to want to move things around? So it's really through that classical training in design, and then also just doing it and listening to people. So I was born into construction. There are, and I don't know if I can find them, but there are baby pictures of me on my first Christmas in a house that looks kind of like it does right now. No drywall on the walls, bare bones. And so my father ran his own construction company. It was commercial construction. My mom has worked on renovating houses and doing things like that all of my life. So I've been in houses. I understand house systems. I understand how things are put together and why. There's a lot of science that goes into this. And I really like thinking about the best way to incorporate the building science with actual design. The biggest obstacle, I would say, is trying to manage my time. So it's making sure I'm ready for meetings, making sure, storm windows are bought at the right time. It's just trying to organize and keep everybody else organized too. So it's just been, how do I make sure I get to all the meetings, I do all of my jobs, and then I still have energy and time for my family. I started a team called Out of the Box Properties. It's powered by Fathom Realty, that's our brokerage. I started it with my mom 2 years ago, and we've grown from the 2 of us to 11 agents. My specialty is I work with investors, and I work with investors a lot in this area who buy rentals, but who also do fix and flips as well. So they'll renovate a property, bring it up to a livable standard and make it beautiful. And then I help them sell that. I'm a green certified agent, which means that I took special courses in learning how houses can function in the most eco-friendly way possible. So, things from the HVAC system, things from windows, things from roofing and all of that. So I can, along with solar panels and hooking up your electric cars into your electrical system as well. So I have a lot of training in that. I even have a lot of training in, if you want to go off grid, I can help you figure out how to live off grid. If you want to live in a tiny house, if you want to live in a schoolie, these are all things that I'm passionate about and that I've spent a lot of time researching for way too long. It feels like sometimes. How this business has changed me is it's provided an opportunity for me to really walk into my genius or to walk into my greatness. I really feel like doing the production, talking about the history of homes and talking about the history of the city and incorporating that into design and renovation of a home that was vacant is something that I feel like I was primed and ready to do, and I was just waiting for an opportunity. So it's changed me, and it's really made me feel like confident, like I know what I'm doing, and I'm walking in this, and I'm making decisions, and I'm helping, I'm helping Matt renovate a house And, he's worked, in all of the construction, but in the design aspect, not as much in a historic home too. So I feel like the greatest thing has changed me is I feel more authentically myself doing this. It makes a big difference. It's housing. People live in houses. Generally, they live in spaces. And in the past 2 years in the real estate market, we've all talked about lack of inventory. That's why house prices have gone up and everyone went house crazy. And it's true in most parts, but it's in St. Louis, we have a lack of usable inventory. There are houses all up and down these streets that are vacant, and that honestly, some people are not living in the greatest living conditions. And so what I hope to do with this is that I hope to bring a surge of people who are interested in the area, who want to help invest in the area, and who want to help bring more usable inventory. So that way people feel safe and they feel secure in their homes. So that way they can continue making great art and they can continue, running their small businesses and making great impacts in the neighborhood. So St. Louis is very diverse, and I want it to stay that way. I mean, that's what makes it amazing. We have so many municipalities within the city of St. Louis that all have their unique charm and their unique flavors of food and everything, that I want to make sure that we maintain that, and that we continue to bring people in who are going to bring their art. They're going to want to bring their individual businesses. They're going to want to bring their specialty foods here. So that way St. Louis can maintain a diverse population, and keep it keep that vibe and keep that culture still going.